my name is Annalene, and a few weeks ago I went to Italy with my partner for about 2 weeks. And this is my little vlog. These travel vlogs are honestly my favorite thing to make and to watch back. So here I am. The first day, all we did was drive. We drove and drove and drove. We've seen some beautiful things. We went through the terre tunnel, which is this tunnel of, I believe, 17 kilometers, which is a little more than 10 miles. This was in Switzerland, and I had remembered that there are like a ton of waterfalls there, so I was very happy to be able to see those again. Then we had our first stop, which was at La Maggiore. We didn't really do much there. We just kind of walked around, had our first ice cream, very important, and then just, you know, looked at the lake and had fun. we didn't do a lot because we were very tired. We got up at like 4, I believe, and then we left at 5 or maybe earlier. I'm actually not sure, but I was very happy to just get to the hotel, just walk around and not do much that day. And then the next day we went to La Spezia, but we actually only had a hotel there so that we could take the train to Cinque Terre. These are 5 beautiful coastal towns. Towns are like located on the mountains or the cliff sides, I guess, near the sea, and it is really beautiful. It is very touristic though, so lots of tourists and people walking around. There honestly wasn't that much to do, but it was just nice to see all of the colors. All of the houses are very colorful, so that, you know, the sailors who came back would be able to easily recognize their own house. But it was honestly very beautiful. We went to Manarona, which was actually the town that was second closest to our hotel, and we had lunch there, and then we decided to walk all the way to that hilltop, if you saw, and then cross over to the closest town to our hotel, which is Rio Maggiore. This is the start of the ascent. Lots of stairs. We took some breaks. This was still, you know, in the town itself, but we were getting pretty up there, you know. We were at the sea level earlier, so this is pretty high up there already, but it just kept on going. We look pretty happy here, but Google Maps told us it was a 35-minute walk, and we probably took like an hour and a half, but this was where we were, so that's a huge climb. This is me all tired and red, and now we are going back down to the next town, to Rio Maggiore. This was definitely quicker than going up the hill, but it still was like pretty brutal. I do have to say, since I started going to the gym, my legs did not hurt one bit, especially not in the ascent. I felt very competent, and I was very, you know, it actually was very healthy for me to do that and realize that I am able to do that kind of thing, which it has been years since I've been able to do something like that, and I was very proud. Then we went to a little town by the sea, so that we could just have a few days on the beach. We had this lovely B&B. We had breakfast every morning in the garden, and it was so nice. The people there were really sweet and helpful. It was just a lovely experience. I'd never been to a B&B before, but it's definitely like a different vibe, and it made me feel very grown up and mature. This little town was called Camaiore, and from there we were able to visit other towns. So we stayed there for 4 nights, and 2 of the days that we were there, we just went to the beach. I didn't film a ton there, but we also went to Luca, which I really liked. I think I enjoyed that town the most of all of the little towns, and this is where we will start with the ascending of a lot of towers. We've done the hill, but now the towers are coming. Robrecht just loves a good viewpoint, so that's what we're doing. It had trees, which was pretty cool. I haven't seen anything like that. This was like the main square, which was actually really cozy, and we ended up having lunch there and dinner. This was the first bookstore that we saw. We've been to a few, and I have to say, Italian bookstores are just strange. The light coming into this church was really beautiful at points, and so I had to do this. I felt like an angel. And then we also walked around the town. This is where the old city walls used to be, and so we walked around the entire town. And that's the tower again, where we were before.
Als even zo hoor.
Oh, wacht, dat is zo echt.
So this is the same square again, where we had dinner. Then also we went to San Gimignano, which is a small town, but as you can see, we found another tower. This one didn't have trees on it. The view was absolutely beautiful. You could see like all of the fields, and there was a bell up there. You know, I understand why Robrecht likes viewpoints like this a lot, and I don't mind going up there with him, especially when it's not windy. And this is where we just were. It was very strange because on the main road there were loads of people, but then when you just, you know, took a turn to any of the streets, there was no one. On that same day, we went to a different town called Volterra. So this is us taking a little stop on the way there to just take in the view. We didn't do much in Volterra. We just walked around, soaked up the vibes, and I guess had good food and good drinks. That's probably the summary of this little travel vlog. And this was where I saw that Robrecht shirt matched the flowers, which I liked. We found these Roman ruins. I say this as if we are the first to discover them, but obviously that's not true. There was this nice little park that I'm actually very, not sad, but I actually kind of felt, I feel like we could have spent a lot more time there, and it probably would have been nice to just sit there and read and just kind of enjoy the calmness of it all. More ice cream! More ice cream! And then it was time for us to go to Florence, which was probably my favorite part of the trip. I mean, the city was buzzing, the food we had was so good. Look at all those people, look at these statues, all of the art that was just in the city. It was, yes, like the holiday up till now was like really chill, and like I was having a good time. But when we went to Florence, I was like, yes, this is it. That's like what I enjoy in cities most. It's just kind of walking around, soaking up the vibes, looking at the pretty stuff, having food, and then also going shopping. Because shopping is never the same in any city, you know? I mean, look at all those people. And look at this cathedral. It's just so pretty. We went to a secondhand store and it was huge. Like, it kept going and they had so much stuff. Robrecht found this yellow cashmere cardigan and it's honestly the softest thing I own, and I'm very happy that I found it and I instantly bought it. We had dinner in this tiny restaurant. It was plant-based, or at least vegetarian. The food was so good. We actually came back the next night, but it was full. Then we got up early in the morning so that we could climb the dome of the cathedral, and it was honestly magical. Like, it was so good. The inside was amazing, but of course, standing on top of it and looking around and walking around the dome was so cool. Like, seeing the city stretch out, seeing, you know, the tower, the bell tower, seeing other stuff. The weather was perfect, it wasn't too hot, but then Robert said, let's just climb the bell tower right away after. And that was a little bit of a mistake, as you can see. But I was very happy that I did it. Then we had hot chocolate afterwards, which it was so good. Like, that was the best hot chocolate that I've had in quite a while. I just love this church. It is so pretty. It's the green and pink marble that does it for me. Then we decided to go and watch the sunset at Piazza di Michelangelo, and we just had this beautiful view over the city. We could see the dome, we could see all of these people. You know, we definitely weren't the only ones with the same idea, but it was just so pretty and magical, and we have so many pictures and videos. I mean, they're all kind of the same, but they're all very pretty. It was just lovely, and I don't think that I've experienced a nicer sunset than this one. In the hotel that we were staying, they had this pancake machine. And then we went to Palazzo Pitti and the Boboli gardens. That was probably my favorite thing to visit. I just love walking around old palaces and the gardens and just, I don't know, just picture a time where people actually lived there and worked there. And I mean, people still work there, but you know. Some of the fountains weren't working, which was kind of sad, and I think that they would probably look really cool if they were actually working and turned on. That's me. Piazza Pitti there was also a museum. Like the building itself was incredible, like with all of these painted ceilings and stuff like that, but they also had like statues and paintings from different eras and they were really cool. And then the next day we went to Sienna. This town had similar vibes. I mean, they were good vibes, but they were similar. I remember visiting this cathedral when I was younger with my parents, and it had left such an impression on me, especially the outside. So it was nice to be back. And then we went to our final destination, which was Montepulciano. This is just a tiny village, you know, on top of a hill, so lots of viewpoints and ice cream. It's a little bit bigger than some other towns that we had visited before, like Volterra and San Gimignano. And this place we had aperitivo and we stayed there for dinner as well. So we sat there for hours, but that's okay. And then we went cycling. We rented these electric bikes and then just, you know, biked around the hills. And I was very happy with the electric bikes. I don't think I would have been able to cycle there without a little help. So it was actually a very nice route that we did. They had like, sometimes there were like stops that you should go, and we just took our time. I think like in total we were probably like cycling for 3 hours, but you know, the actual journey was like 6 hours or something, which was really nice because, you know, we just stopped for breaks and food. So and then afterwards we rewarded ourselves with bubble tea. It wasn't very good though, I have to admit. And then we drove back. This time we did a little stop in France, in Colmar. We only walked around there in the morning for like half an hour, and then we had like a 6 or maybe 8 hour drive. I don't actually remember. So we decided to just head off and go back home. And that's it. thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I also have some other travel vlogs that you can watch. I will link them up here and down in the description box so that you can check them out. Thank you again, and I will see you next week. For real, I will be back next Wednesday.